There are so many things that make it tough to live with MCI, and one of the most hurtful is when people close to you just don't seem to understand what you're dealing with. Now, it's hard to talk to anyone about MCI, and I've touched upon that topic in the past. The reactions you get from people can be so thoughtless and callous and dismissive. But when you get that from your own family, your spouse, your children, that just cuts so much deeper. So one of my goals is to help open up a better conversation among families about having MCI. And my motivation comes from a gentleman named Randall, who sent me a message so touching and so compelling that I just had to share it with you today. Hi, I'm Tony Deering of GoCogno.com, the website for people with mild cognitive impairment. There is nothing more valuable than hearing from the people that I'm here to serve. And a couple of weeks ago, I got a message from Randall, who lives in the eastern United States and had formerly worked as an advertising executive in New York. The message wasn't long, but it was so poignant and perfectly expressed that I thought everyone needs to hear this. So I contacted him, and he agreed to let me share it with you. Here's what he had to say.
Hi, Tony. The following is my life with MCI and how my family reacted to MCI. First, a little background about me. I am in my 70s with a wife and two sons in their 40s. I've been married for the second time for 9 years. My first wife died from COPD after 50 years. Both my sons are paramedics by training and practice. I was diagnosed with MCI 5 years ago, but did not accept it until now. I was told that I had Parkinson's with dementia, or vascular dementia, or Alzheimer's, and there was nothing they could do. In my world, go home and wait to die. The MCI is not great, but I'm still alive. When I told my family about my condition, I was greeted with, quote, "It's a nice day outside," unquote. They don't get the response to questions as slower than it used to be, or I completely forget what they asked. Sometimes I can't follow conversations in a group setting. Working in New York City all my life, you had to be sharp as a tack. Now I am sharp as a felt-tip pen. What I'm greeted with is, why do you repeat yourself all the time? Do I? Frustration is the best way to describe my life. I end up calling my young grandchildren by their wrong name and not finding the right words when talking. It is a private war that only those with this curse can understand. What source of information is out there so they and others can begin to fathom this condition? Tony, this is where you can come in. I hope someday the public, and more important, my family, will understand MCI and will say to me, "I understand your predicament."
I know that Randall is watching this, and I want to thank him for his generosity in sharing this message with others. It inspired me, but more importantly, it challenged me. What I want to create for Randall, and for people like him, people like you, is some kind of guide that can help families have better conversations about MCI and how to understand it, accept it, and deal with it. As I begin working on that, I'm asking you to help me. What have your experiences been? How have you and your family addressed this or talked about this? Do you have any experiences or thoughts to share? Any advice? Please let me know. Leave a comment below or send me an email at tonydeering@GoCogno.com. MCI should not be, as Randall says, a private war that only those with this curse can understand. Together, I think that we can create something that helps families understand better and be more supportive. I hope to hear your thoughts on this, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, as always, be kind to your mind.